Hi, everyone. Aldo Psych, back for part two of my review of the book Feeling Good About the Way You Look by Savina Williams, 2006. Again, this is for informational purposes only. And let's get to it. Okay, so some things I like about the book. I like that the author helps the reader identify negative thoughts and emphasizes that it's important to practice disputing these thoughts and beliefs. She really makes a point of saying, okay, you can't just do it once. You've got to work at this. Again, a la CBT, you're going to be doing some homework. Now, these negative thoughts and beliefs, they just don't go away in an instant, especially if you've been, you know, thinking this way for some time. Um, you can make some progress in disputing beliefs, but unless you continue to practice disputing these negative thoughts, disputing these negative beliefs, you're going to fall back into your, default mode. Okay, so that's real important. So practice really is important here. And maybe you do it every day. Maybe you get to a maintenance level where you do it, twice a week or something, to dispute these things. But that's a whole nother video if you want to get into the particulars about that. Now, the author presents information about exposure. So if you've been avoiding social situations, for example, exposure would be getting back into those situations. And I like that she also presents the strategy of doing it slowly. That's kind of my take on doing things as well. There's some people out there that kind of like to rip the Band-Aid off, and I like to just kind of go very slowly. And basically, in her book, she's explaining that you're going to be developing a hierarchy of distressing situations. Think successive approximations here. We're going to go one little micro step at a time if we need to. We start with the least stressful situation, and then we just move down this list. Move down the list as you're successful. So will you be anxious? Yes, you'll be anxious. But if you're starting at a real small level, the anxiety level there should be manageable or tolerable. Okay, so eventually you'll stay in the situation, you'll habituate to it, your anxiety level then will drop. You don't want to bail in a situation that you're working on, because this is going to increase your anxiety level, next time you face the situation. That's why you start small. Okay. Now, the author also talks about slowly reducing and eliminating rituals. So, for example, if you're spending an hour putting on makeup to make your nose look thinner, or smaller, or, something like that, maybe you try to get yourself down to, say, 45 minutes. You give yourself 45 minutes to put the makeup on your nose and work down from there. Maybe then you get it down to 30 minutes and 15 minutes and 5 minutes. Maybe you don't even use the makeup at some point in time. Okay, maybe. Now, a couple more things. She mentions using competing actions to deal with ritual. So, for example, if you're using your fingers to pick at a pimple or something like that, and you're constantly doing it, this is a ritual we're talking about. Then perhaps using like maybe a squeeze ball or something that's going to occupy your fingers will ease the urge to engage in that ritual. So if you use the squeeze ball, you do that for a couple minutes, maybe that urge is gone, then you're okay for a while. And that's like when I worked as a school psychologist, when we had students, for example, that just couldn't sit at their desk quietly. They'd be tapping their pencil on the desk or something like that. We couldn't just, you know, tell them stop or, just take the pencil away. They need the pencil. But sometimes we had success by giving them like a foam object, something very soft, and they could tap that on their desk. Much quieter and much less annoying for the other students and for the teacher. Finally, I'll end the video with this. It's called Mirror Retraining, and the author credits Dr. James Rosen for this. And it's really just kind of confronting the negativity bias that we're wired with. So it works by basically broadening your perspective. So if you tend to focus on like a mole on your face that you don't like, you're constantly, going to the mirror to look at it and ruminate about it. Well, what the idea here is to retrain yourself to kind of broaden that picture. So instead of just focusing on that mole, now it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to focus on my whole face, and maybe there's some parts of your face that you like. Maybe besides the mole, maybe you got some nice eyes, or maybe you've got some luscious lips, or some white teeth, or whatever the case may be. The point is you make a point of getting a different perspective of what you look at. You don't just zero in on that mole that you don't like. You kind of broaden what you're looking at, and the goal is to learn to accept uh, your appearance. Okay, and that is it for part 2. Thanks.